And welcome back, everyone. I just want to give you a brief update before the European Championship starts in 2 days. And in this video, I want to talk about what I do to prepare for such tournaments and possible tricks that you can also implement for yourself to learn how to prepare the best way for tournaments. So what is probably the most important thing when it comes to preparing for tournaments is picking the right openings before the event starts. So to have kind of a approximate plan on how you want to approach the opening stage, like to pick a couple of openings which you're probably going to play and analyze them as well as you can before the event. That's probably the best approach. At least that's what I'm currently doing. There are many approaches in general. Like nowadays, you need to be very flexible anyway when it comes to opening preparation. You need to be able to play basically every opening out there, since if you're only playing one opening, your opponent can just prepare for that and try to catch you in some variation. So it's always good to have at least two options, to have some sort of backup option in case your opponent is trying to catch you somewhere. So that's kind of what I've been doing for preparing for the European Championship. If you're also playing an open tournament like this one, you also need these two options to have one solid option and one option to perhaps play for a win. Especially if you have the black pieces, there are often difficulties in trying to create chances because some of the lines have been analyzed until the very end, and it can be very difficult to get winning chances somewhere, because especially with the white pieces, white players can often just go into some very drawish variations. That's kind of the main problem nowadays. So that's why it's good to have kind of one solid option which you can play if you're fine with the draw, and one option which is maybe a bit more risky but keeps some more play in the position that you can try to push for a win against lower rated opponents. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing, and now I want to show you also one aspect which I think is quite important: how to organize your chess base. I spent the last week countless hours trying to organize my files because I haven't been so good with it over the last couple of years. I've been kind of a mess with chessbase. I haven't stored the files where they belong, and now everything has kind of been all over the place. So I just want to give you like an insight on how I currently do it. It's still kind of a work in progress, but also definitely let me know if you have a sort of system to organize your files. I think it's definitely good to start as early as possible, because if you don't, then, well, you're going to end up like me, who has to spend many hours to just do the work afterwards. So it's always good to just do the work whenever you already can, to implement the system as early as possible. So how I currently have it, so here we are in ChessBase. This is kind of, I have a couple of folders, that was the word. One of them is, for example, for training material for my students. One is for seconding work, but this is the folder which we're gonna have a look at now. This is my own personal openings. So how I currently do it, what I just changed now, is to have basically the main openings as white and black. There are also many players I know that have the files in one folder just. So for example, 1e4, and they put their files from the black side and from the white side. For me personally, it's easier to have, for example, white 1e4, which you can see here, where I have all my files for 1e4 from the white side, but then to have a separate folder for my analysis from the black side, for example, e4, e5 as black, you can see here. Or for example, the French from the black side is also here, because for me personally, this is an easier way to store it. And what I also implemented now is to have these folders: white important, black important, where I put in all the files which I'm kind of currently working on, or which are currently important for my repertoire, and also the folder tournament preparation, which I'm currently working on. Keep in mind, I'm not going to click on those folders now, otherwise everyone's going to see what I am working on, and maybe I'm going to do that after the tournament has finished, but for now I'm going to keep that secret. So in general, that's how we do it here. By the way, here is the folder Chessable for the Chessable course, which I'm still working on. Which doesn't really belong in here. I have a separate folder with my work from courses, but anyway, I just keep it in here. And yeah, otherwise I have Sicilians black in one folder, which is also quite nice. to have all the Sicilians in there. One separate folder for the Najdorf, since I have just way too many files for the Najdorf for black. In general, it makes sense to have openings in one folder together that are somewhat similar. For example, I have one file with the Grunfeld and the King's Indian, because often there are transpositions in there, and otherwise if you have it's not easy to decide where to put the files otherwise, because often there are transpositions, and then you're going to end up looking in the wrong folders always. The same with one knight f3 and one c4. Often they're like almost always there are transpositions, and otherwise you're not sure where you put the files, because they could potentially belong in both of the folders. So yeah, I think that's basically it. I also have some from Austrian training camps, from some folder for Borki Predojevich's analysis, which is here. But yeah, I think that was the most important thing. In general, just to sum things up, if you are trying to prepare for a tournament quite seriously, it's very important to kind of make this plan before the tournament, what you're going to play. Anyway, during the tournament, many things are going to change. It happens to me almost every time that there are many changes also during the tournament. But at least it gives you some peace of mind as well to enter the tournament with some sort of repertoire which you have thought out, basically. So I hope this video was useful for you. If you have any more questions on what can be done for tournament preparation, with the chess part, of course, there is also the psychological part, which you can work on quite a lot, which is very helpful as well. Physical part as well. I've been going to the gym quite recently now before the tournament to have just a better physical condition as well. And anyway, probably the most important preparation comes then also while the tournament is ongoing. That's kind of it's not easy to say. Some people might argue that the most important preparation goes in before the event. My opinion is that both are very important, to say the very least. But yeah, again, I hope this video was useful. If you have any more questions on this topic, definitely let me know in the comments section down below. Otherwise, you can follow me on all my socials, check out my website felixbloberger.com, and I will see you soon. Thank you, guys.